Let's talk, dude. Tesla launches the Cybertruck.
Holy shit.
Have you? Okay, check this out. So you've obviously seen the images.
Yes,
Full
I've seen it.
stainless steel. Has apparently the largest windscreen, like pure glass, and the largest. It's a single windscreen wiper on Earth. It can beat a Porsche 911 in a drag race.
Yes, I saw that.
Optically, it's a cross, like it's as if the DeLorean and a Ute had a baby. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the Cybertruck. What the hell's going on here, man?
So, from what the reaction I see online, it is actually better than what a lot of people thought.
In terms of
Right?
what?
In terms of, you remember when it launched, people were laughing at Elon and
Well, they were laughing because they remember that.
the thing that the
yeah,
glass
they threw the glass.
broke and,
They
and
threw
all
the,
that.
the
Everyone was just
demonstration.
like, this looks kind of fun. But people did pre-order it, right? Because they were like, what is this? We need this.
Yeah.
And from what we hear on the road, it's actually really good. It's legit. Like, really, as I said, it beat the Porsche. I saw that video.
Yeah.
0 to 100, and it just
Did you see the video where they emptied like a round of bullets on the damn thing?
Yes, I think I've seen that one too.
Why? Okay, but okay.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How is the pre-order situation in Australia though? Like, is that
Okay. You can't order it in Australia at the moment. Okay, so I've got my views on it, but like
Elon? What the?
we'll layer the conversations. But first, you're right. Like the reviews have been not negative, right? Like initially positive. It's a good truck. Like, look, Tesla's been creating cars for a while now. They've tinkered with it, right?
Yeah.
But the Cybertruck represents, like I said, it's like a DeLorean, right? Visually, if we drove this down the street in Sydney, this would be rarer than like a Lamborghini, right? Like,
Yeah, remember when Homer Simpson made that car in The Simpsons, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah.
It's
That-
like
that's
it
it.
has that sort of feel, but it's actually good.
It's actually like a real car, right? And I think that's the design brief that Elon had.
By the way, is that Simpsons Turn the Future again? Might be.
The design brief was to create a car that looked like the future but drove in the
Yes.
present, right? So they ticked that there, and it's a very challenging car. Like a lot of the reviews that I've watched actually have talked about how hard it is to manufacture, and that's why it isn't in other countries, and you can only order it in the US. But again, to my initial point, does the world need a Cybertruck that looks like that?
Does the world need anything really? Does the world really need TikTok? But it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all like, I guess ideas of billionaires who, come and said like, think this is going to work.
Yeah.
Elon thinks this is going to work, and I think it will as well.
Yeah.
Right. There's just something about it. It just feels like it's ushered in a different age of vehicles.
Yeah.
Right. This is completely different from what we've seen before. And
But this vehicle looks like a prop from a Mad Max movie.
It does.
That's exactly
Yeah,
like
it does, yeah,
visually. If
And that's
again,
the appeal, right?
that is the appeal.
That's kind of what the appeal sort of is of Teslas, right? When you see a Tesla on the road, you're like, that's a Tesla. Straight away.
well, the Model 3s are quite generic. I mean, like what I mean.
There are some generic models, but,
Yeah.
but I can still see, you can tell a Tesla apart from, if you won't look at the badges,
Yeah.
you can tell a Tesla apart from other
From the
cars.
silhouette, yeah. Look, it has a classy looking silhouette, but look, I think this is my view. It's really interesting, right? So the Tesla Model Y, which is the one that our mate has,
Yes.
is a bestseller in the world, right? Like it's I think in Australia, it's top 10 selling car. At least from an EV perspective, it's always up there, right?
Yeah.
So Tesla has a portfolio of cars, and I think in a portfolio basically for products, the Cybertruck sits as that not aspirational, but how do I explain? It sits as that product that shows what the company can do if it dares, but it's not going to be a mass selling vehicle. That's how I kind of see the Cybertruck. Because imagine if, for example, you were introducing someone to Tesla that just didn't know about it, right?
Yeah.
Which admittedly would be a very short selection of people at the moment because their brand is permeated or what.
Yeah.
Imagine if you took a person to a Tesla showroom
showed them
and you showed them the Cybertruck, right? The Model 3 wouldn't stand out. You wouldn't remember it, like after a while. You definitely wouldn't remember the Model Y. But you would go away leaving like the showroom saying, Jesus Christ, that's a I've never seen I've seen that in a movie, but I did not know that you could create it.
You
there,
would
right?
think it's a concept, right?
Correct, yeah.
Now, this brings another thing into this. What do I think the market is here for, like Australia, for this?
They're not going to sell it.
I mean, can you see the tradies and like that really going for this?
Here is where it's interesting because we're at an inflection point in EVs, right? So EV as a growing category in Australia and around the world is growing up, is increasing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, depending on who you talk to, they're proponents for ICE cars, which is internal combustion, like the standard cars, and EVs. But as a growing segment, especially in Australia where we are, it's definitely growing.
Ice cars.
Here is one thing, right? The pricing is really important, and the pricing for EVs has been the point of adoption where it hasn't been adopted. So Elon Musk is planning on creating, I don't know if it's a Tesla Model 2, which is a 25 grand USD though. Okay, so USD car. So that's a car for the masses, right? Yeah. And the problem with the Cybertruck is it's priced really out of contention, right? So initially when a couple of years ago, firstly, Elon is notorious for this, but the release of this truck has been pushed back years and years. And years. This is supposed to be like 3 years ago, basically, right? And it was specifically because of how difficult it is to manufacture a truck like this at all, period, and then mass, right? To manufacture it at any level of scale.
That's where I thought they would fail.
Because it's so unique. So I believe, I could be wrong, but the initial costings for it was around 35 to 40 grand USD, right? Yeah. The pricing for this, and this is the base level, is US 60 grand. Base level. So that's, what is that, 80 grand Australian?
Yeah, about 89.
That's the base level. The most boss level of this is 100 grand US. So you tell me, with a pricing structure like that, and here's the thing, Elon's gone on many podcasts, and he's saying that the most difficult thing, and it's a well-known fact about EVs and cars as a whole, is to manufacture anything at scale. Once you can do things at scale, then you can generate the economies of scale that allows you to push the pricing down, right? And because this is such a unique car, it's full stainless steel. So they were saying, like, and I've seen so many reviews, that they had to create a machine that could punch stainless steel that thick. So they had to create bespoke machines, and that's how manufacturally expensive it is to do it. So that's why I say, when you think about a portfolio of cars, this is not a car. In fact, apparently them losing money making a Cybertruck. But
do you reckon it's going to be limited sort of thing? I don't think it's.
You know what I see the Cybertruck? I see the Cybertruck being a collector's item. I see the Cybertruck being a collector's item. So you can only buy it in the US. And you better believe that the first couple of times you see it on like the highway in the US or California, it's gonna look sick, right?
So that brings into some other interesting questions for just, I guess, our Sydney sort of market for this.
If it ever comes, though.
If it ever comes, right? Like, it's so expensive that you'd only think people, on the eastern suburbs would probably be able to afford something like that. But
91 grand, by the way. That would be the base level.
It's the eastern suburbs is like small streets and like alleyways and lanes. I don't think it's practical.
Not practical,
So what's that's probably why they're not releasing it. I don't think they've got a proper market for it.
I think, look, there's rich people, there's early adopters and rich people in every country, right?
Yeah.
But you're right, it's a truck.
It's a truck.
It's literally a truck. It's like marketed as a truck. It has a towing bay. It's literally a truck. So it's meant to be used as a truck. It allows you to, connect your power tools there. It has attachments that you can do camping and stuff.
This would have been great for tradies and Outback and stuff like that. But
that's definitely what it's been marketed as.
I reckon Elon should make like a light version of this or something to get that tradie market. How much is it, like a ute and stuff like that around here? It would be around 40,000.
40 grand. Yeah. But that is not a Cybertruck thing. That is just an EV versus ICE thing. And that's the whole point. But I eventually see this as a collector's item. Generally. And a really nice collector's item at that, if you think about it. If you think of those rich guys that have like 50 cars in their garage, imagine if you had a Cybertruck there. But yeah, the pricing for the average Joe is just out of spec. But
you know what Elon's going to tell you to do, right?
What?
He's going to tell you to go fuck yourself. Like he told Bob Iger and all that.
Don't listen to Daddy Elon, man.
Did you see that? What the hell was that? He told everyone to go.
Yeah, he did it. It was for the advertising, but I think the great thing about, to me, the Cybertruck is, I reckon it's just an epitome of Elon Musk. It's bold, brash, and really over the top. It's just
it might be a bit too ahead of its time, maybe.
But that's what I like. Again, my view is the Cybertruck is a statement rather than a business case.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, and maybe an expensive statement at that. I don't know how many people will buy it, but like it's sold out. I mean, the initial allocation is sold out. But in a portfolio of vehicles,
Imagine a sedan version of this.
what is a sedan?
No, but like not as
Model Y?
big, but like as crazy design.
You're talking about the aesthetics, right?
aesthetic
right?
of it. Yeah, imagine like a sedan sort of version.
I will
of that.
say one thing, like an all stainless steel car, like it sounds good, but it's like a microwave on wheels. Like the aesthetic, like what I mean is, it looks
What's
beautiful.
the safety test like this on crash
It's
test?
got like Tesla's overall are like they have to pass it, right? They can't bypass it. So I would just imagine the safety test is good. But two things. One is the insurance on this thing will be through the freaking roof because those stainless steel panels can only like
One of one,
literally. And secondly, I think just the practicalities of having a car, like if you what do you have that's stainless steel? Like a microwave. If you scratch, you can see that you can't buff that out.
You can't.
Even when it's brand new, you can see it everywhere, right? So I think
Even on like iPhones and any phone, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's like
the stainless steel element, like what I'm saying is the aesthetic initially is good, especially a car, a truck that's meant to be pounded. It's meant to be used in a worker's sort
So
of.
maybe
era.
when there's like 6 months worth of use for this in the public,
Yeah.
that's when we can see all the problems, right?
I mean, like,
Because right now it's getting great reviews and everything, but I mean we don't really know how this is going to be 6 months down the line, right?
Elon got Elon, bro.
Yeah, man, he's going
Elon
to tell you to
got
go.
Elon. But I tell you what, I tell you what, I do like. Name another company apart from Tesla that's pushing the boundaries innovation-wise.
Yeah, every car looks like a bloody Camry. Like every Camry is always stereotypically given to us Indians.
So this car, just again, I think it's a statement. It's a statement by Tesla. Yeah. They know it's not going to be a bestseller just by virtue of the price and the unique segment, but sits very well. But you know, good on you, Elon. Man. Good on you, Elon.
Just make up with Bob.
Just give us a Cybertruck.
Bob wants a hug. So Bob Iger wants a hug. So just give him a hug.
Bob can
hug it out.
Bob can go and